Hello, my dear Leo, and welcome to Mind, Body, and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of July. We are in Cancer season, so please tell happy birthday to all Cancers out there. Well, let's get on with your reading. I pre-shuffled your cards already, and yeah, this is a general reading, as you know. So if it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. You know how it goes. So what do we have? What are the messages for Leo? So we have the Seven of Cups. As I was shuffling your cards earlier, I was feeling something having to do with communication. So maybe you're having difficulties communicating your emotions, your feelings right now, or in this period. Also, I was feeling something having to do with your personal power or your perception of from the ego self. Again, nothing wrong with the ego. Ego is just a defense mechanism. King of Pentacles. Judgment. All right. What else do we have? For my dear Leo. July 2019. Okay, so I have the King of Swords. And bottom of the deck, your underlying energy is the Hermit. Alright. Now let's pull out some clarifiers for these cards. Can't really see this so well. I'm gonna shuffle here, guys. You can hear me shuffling. It's just more comfortable. Alright, so what do we have for these cards? Or these guides here. Clarify these cards. What do we have for the Seven of Cups? Why is the Seven of Cups here? Okay, what came out is the Page of Pentacles with the Seven of Cups. Right. We have the King of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Nine of Wands. Okay. Four of Pentacles came out, and that was fast. The Knight of Cups came out with the King of Swords. And again, bottom of the deck, you have the Emperor. And the High Priestess wants to show her face here. So I think I'm going to pull her out. It seems relevant to the message that's here today for you. Alright. Alright. Let's see what this is all about. So your underlying energy is the Hermit, along with the Emperor and the High Priestess. The Hermit is about kind of going solo. You know, you're going into taking maybe some time alone, taking some time for yourself in order to investigate a little bit what's really out there or what's really happening within you. The Hermit is somebody who's like he's really curious. He's curious about what is there. He goes there in the top of the mountain with this lamp that he's got in his hand, where he carries the star. Really, he brings light into the darkest shadows, into the darkest corners of the psyche. So yeah, Hermit is actually a card of self-reflection and investigation. And it comes along with the High Priestess. There's these two together, like even if the colors are the same, They're dressed the same. There's this blue and white and stuff, uh, and and the yellow. The high priestess is just like reinforcing this and adding to it that in stillness and maybe meditation, or what is it that you can, where however you can achieve a meditative state, you find your answers through your intuition. And also the high priestess has to do with reconciling the opposites within yourself. It's the birth of duality, understanding duality, in order to grow back to the um, unity. We need to understand the separate self, and this is when we start understanding what we identify with and what we don't identify with. And as we start like peeling off the things that aren't don't serve us any longer, we can look at them separately and understand that this is not our identity. And after that, through this process, we go back to integration, integrating the energy, integrating the part of me that I've put into whatever thought pattern, or what I've invested in an idea of the self, or in a um yeah a concept of how one should be, or how I should be, or how life should be. And it comes together with the emperor, which is somebody who's having to do with personal power. There we go. And this whole blue here, to me, reminds me of communication as well, because of the color of the throat chakra, which is blue. The emperor is about power. The emperor is all about the, um, you know, uh, being the king of your castle, being the emperor for the whole damn domain, And he is very assertive. He's very strong. He's very fiery. This is fire energy is Aries, but it's your sister signs. You, and you Leo are fire. All right. Um, and you do have this. You are one of the signs that's most um yeah, you can go on power trips, or you can go in this whole getting a little bit domineering and over controlling. This is the dark side of the emperor, being over controlling and domineering. The highest energy of the emperor is having structure. It's four, right? So having a lot of structure and having a lot of like um, self control, and being able to deliver everything that you've. It's very I can energy, because I am power. um So I think that this month of July, you're being called to come home within yourself and take some time alone, and take some time in order to examine within yourself, what is it, how do you feel about power, controlling, and rules. Maybe you're putting too many rules, or maybe not necessarily in lack of rules. I don't see that usually with Leos, but yeah, who knows? Maybe you've been neglecting some of the rules, and understanding like um also, how do you define yourself? Do you define yourself through the power that you have over other people? And why is that? We all can get a little bit controlling with people in our lives, because we uh, feel powerless. Therefore, whenever we get a little bit over controlling, or we're clinging to or attaching to a way of being, and expectations, like having certain expectations of an outcome, and attaching too much on those expectations of one particular outcome, robs us from the experience, really, because we are setting ourselves up for failure. the more we attach to a particular outcome, the more we are telling ourselves, okay, so if this doesn't work out, I cannot be happy. If this doesn't work out in these very particular details, this is also a little bit, this is a Virgo energy, the Hermit. So it can be quite particular as well in his methods and his path. So just look at that. I'm not saying it's good or bad. And I'm saying that we need to look at this also because the Seven of Cups come here with the Page of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups is a very dreamy energy of looking what is it possible, what's possible to do out there. It's that whole visualization of the outcomes that you've been having in mind, you know. And the Page of Pentacles tells you to ground. The Page of Pentacles tells you to connect to your body and to connect to the earth and to connect to the present moment. And, you know, it's this whole red on the feet are red, is the very grounded individual. And look at what is it that you have. Look at the potential of the situation that you have right now in front of you, in the present moment. Don't waste too much time dreaming of what it could be. As many times the things that you think that you want for yourself aren't exactly what you need, or aren't exactly as glittery, shiny as you think they are. All that glitter isn't always gold, you know. So I think this is the message for now for you to ground, to come back within the self, to come back into this more investigative state, and be curious and bring like this star, this hope, and you know, the star is all about healing, actually. Allow this emperor to feel safe, but not judging him. You don't need to judge the emperor. You don't need to judge yourself for having these whatever dreams or expectations. It's more like trying to understand, why is the emperor feeling insecure? Why does it need to go on this over controlling power trip, or trying to control too hard his own reality, I suppose. It's not necessarily about other people, though it can translate in that as well. It can translate in anything. And yeah, and you can do that by grounding, by coming back to the present moment, get out of the mind, and don't trust your emotions too much. I mean, like, use your emotions as a guide, not as reality. Same with your thoughts. We can't use our thoughts and our emotions as the reality. Yes, they are personal truths, but we need to understand to decode them. We need to understand, where is that coming from? Where am I operating from a place of fear? Where am I operating from a place of like feeling insecure that I have to control every aspect of my reality? Why can't I just, like, you know, enjoy the reality as it is, enjoy my experience, enjoy my body experience, my I don't know, enjoying the earthly things, like feeling the sun on my face, and smelling the flowers on the field around me, and seeing the bright colors of the trees, things like this. And the King of Pentacles comes next with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is somebody who is like close to the end of the journey, but is tired as fuck. Is really tired, and is almost like contemplating giving up, contemplating that it had enough. But you know, with the King of Pentacles here, tells me that you're going to be successful in whatever is it that you're working for so hard right now. The King of Pentacles is all about success. The King of Pentacles is all about Well, earthly success, something that you can, it's tangible in this very world. It can be having to do with your career, it can be having to do your finances, your home environment, things like this. He's a provider and he's a caretaker. And maybe it's time for him to take care of this aspect of yourself that's been like, I think it's the ones suit having to do with what you love, with your passion, with your that inner spark that keeps you rolling, you know. Well, now it's being kind of tired, and the King of Pentacles needs to learn to provide and care for that part of you. Don't get too stuck on materialism of any kind. Um, be nurturing with yourself. He can be a really good father. And he's an incredibly grounded individual, you know. He's coming from this page of Pentacles, which is just the beginning of grounding, and you start seeing like what's valuable and what's important. And the King of Pentacles is the embodiment of groundedness and seeing value in everything that's been working for. So take a moment and look, what is it that your passion is or was, and why is it that you feel so tired, and learn to yeah, and do this through going back to moments of silence and aloneness, so you can clear out your mind and your emotions and don't get too confused. The Seven of Cups is also an energy which is a bit cloudy and confusing. Look at this guy. This is so many like clouds, and they aren't exactly white. The gray clouds mean confusion. White clouds means more like insight and understanding. And yeah, he's just like a little bit taken aback of all these things that his choices or chooses, even what is it that he wants to dream about. And this whole process takes you to judgment. Judgment is a card of really assessing where you're at right now, or the big picture in your life. What is it that you want to do? What have you accomplished? What went wrong? What went well? Um, am I okay with my place in time? And the Four of Pentacles, it has to do a lot with being very guarded and very it's also having a lot of structure. So maybe have this place, you reach this place where you see that in the big picture of your life you've been playing it safe, or you are playing it safe right now. It's good to have some structure, but if you're holding so strongly and so hard to your perception of reality, this is Pentacles, right? So it has to do with your physical reality right now, with your heart reality. Again, if you cling too hard and hold on too tightly to a desired outcome or desired way of being into the world, you can miss out on other opportunities. And it's time to just see this for what it is. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Maybe you needed this. It's a fantastic that you were able to do this. It's probably what brought you here to this nine of like really aiming really high and with your passions and going really close to completion. But this judgment card here tells me that maybe it's time for change in this aspect. The judgment is a card of radical change. You see this, like these people are raising from the graves. It's like a rebirth. Judgment has to do a lot with forgiveness as well. So in order to move on to the next life that you start living right now, um one needs to let go of everything from the past, from the previous life. Let go, definitely not cling. This guy is clinging like for the life of his on these pentacles here. And I think it has to do with his value. What is it that he values? His value system. It's a four, so there you go, system. It has to do with whatever gives you structure so far. I think it's time to reevaluate and let go of this. because it's a new life. It's a new life that it's a new stage of your life that you're moving into. And this way of being gets you really, really tired. In order to be able to enjoy life more and be making get yourself ready for the next chapter that's coming, you gotta let go. You gotta forgive the people in the past that hurt you. You gotta forgive yourself for not performing always as you wanted to. As we look at our life as a whole and assess, we need to assess without judgment, without negativity, just by like really thanking ourselves for making it this thus far, and for having this amazing resilience and strength. The emperor became an emperor because he's damn strong. He just needs to relax a little bit now in order to move on to the next chapter. The next chapter comes with beautiful King of Swords and the Knight of Cups. The King of Swords has to do with communication, being able to be articulate and be able to talk about your emotions. The Knight of Cups is all about emotions. It's all about an open heart and our needs, our emotional needs, being able to offer love and receive love. So the King of Swords is able to talk about this very articulately and very rationally. It's not like getting like lost in a dream world or getting super controlling and demanding. The emperor is demanding, is not communicating. The King of Swords is somebody who can communicate freely and very clearly. With he has a big understanding of the big picture. He can see the big picture of everything. He can see the big picture of the life. It is actually very interesting as it comes right after the judgment, and it had to do with this whole like look at your life as a whole. And the King of Swords knows this. This is what takes you to embody this King of Swords, and being able to communicate your needs with maturity and with as I said, like a lot of like rational understanding, not getting swept off your feet by emotions and by fears. It's a very grounded individual with a very, very clear mind. All right, my lovelies. I think this reading is actually really, really good. You're getting to free yourself of your own the pressure that you're putting on yourself here. So hang in there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you here next time.